Hey Wagowskis, this is Jonathan, and I'm bringing you a new video with audio this round. Thought maybe I'd change it up a little bit. It's been a while since I've recorded, and I think the reason why that was I got a little lazy about it. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't want to lie to you. I love you guys too much for that. I had to take a break for a while, get my school up, and being in high school and such, it ain't as easy as you think it would be. But yeah, so today I wanted to review Pokemon. I think Pokemon's a good video game to review. It's got a lot of content in it. I don't want to review any of the newer ones though because I haven't played them. I only played the original Pokemon Yellow and Fire Red. So I wanted to review Pokemon Fire Red, the US version, not the European nor the Japanese version, because apparently they're different. Didn't know that. More you know. So, in Pokemon Fire Red, the whole point of the game is to collect these animals called Pokemon. Now, Pokemon, they're similar to our animals, except they're in a different universe, and it's legal there to fight them, which, back in the day, or in this world, that ain't okay. That's against the law, but whatever. So, you capture these Pokemon, and then you basically have them fight it out. Whoever wins gets a small sum of money, and you continue on. Now, the whole point of this game, which gave it a lot of the charm back in the day, was it was different from like Final Fantasy. It was different from a lot of the other RPGs, where in most RPGs your goal was to get to the end boss and win. Well, that still is a lot of the end goal for a lot of games, which is get to the end boss and win. In Pokemon, while that is still your main goal in a way, where you want to get to the Elite Four and beat them, mostly in the game though, that's not the goal. Your goal is made by yourself, and that was it was the first game to really do that. You have a lot of choice of where you want to go, and what you want to do, and what Pokemon you want to capture, and what strategies you want to use. And there were a lot back then, except unless you wanted to use Psychic, which then you're an a-hole for doing that. Sorry about the throat. Yeah, got a little bit of a plug up. But yeah. So a lot of Pokemon you'll spend is grinding. You're gonna go in. You're gonna get your. Most people choose Charmander, from what I noticed. Charmander, Squirtle. Yeah, Venusaur. He gets kind of the butt of the whole thing. But most people choose Charmander and Squirtle. And after that, you level them up. You train, you get your first Pokemon, which tends to be a Caterpie or a Pidgey, which are different types. I'll explain types later on. But, yeah, the only fault that Pokemon's ever had was grinding. It has this really bad thing where it wants you to grind for hours and hours and, just level up your characters. I heard in the newer versions that they've kind of fixed that with something called XP share, but we're not talking about those versions. Those versions, they're for another day. They're for when I get hip with the kids and play the new Pokemons. But, so, that's a problem with Pokemon Fire Red and Yellow. Yellow suffered from the same thing, too, where you spent a lot of the game grinding, and if you didn't grind, you were just not going to go nowhere. You were going to lose your whole team tons of times. And that's not too big of a deal. It's kind of irritating, but, it's not too big of a deal. I remember in the beginning of the game, if you didn't pick Squirtle, then you had such a problem with Brock, which is the first gym leader. Oh wait, what am I talking about, dude? I haven't even explained that, how you get to the end boss. So, my bad, guys. So you gotta find these gyms, and each one of these gyms, they have a mini boss, if you will. So each one of these gyms has a type special. It specializes in a type. For example, that Charmander and Squirtle and Venusaur I mentioned earlier, they all are different types. Charmander is a fire type. So why does that matter, you may ask? Well, why that matters is different types counter each other in battle. So a fire type will have an advantage against a grass type or a bug type. Whereas a water type will be able to kick the crap out of a fire type. And grass type kicks the crap out of water. So, with that said, there are tons of different types. So, the first type that you run into, or the first gem that you run into, I should say, is a rock gem, which is ran by a character named Brock. And yeah, that's really hard unless you've started out with that water type, because water beats rock. I don't think there's any other type that you can get in the beginning that can actually counter rock. I know in Pokemon Yellow, it was definitely Brock was the hardest gym in Pokemon Yellow for me, because in Pokemon Yellow you get what's called a Pikachu at the start, which is an electric type, and electric's really bad against rock. So yeah, so there was that. Then as time went, as you go on, you face these different type leaders. Like the second gym, if I remember correctly, was water, which is Misty. So you go, you fight Misty. Most of the time you beat her, because a lot of the Pokemon you pick up at the beginning is grass. And as I stated before, grass beats water. And then, the game gets progressively harder, the Pokemon level up. You pick up new Pokemon, you can try out new styles. Like when you fight against a water gym leader, like Misty, you mostly want to get a bunch of grass and electric, because that's what counters water. When you fight a fire one, you want to get a lot of water. When you fight, in the electric one, you want to get a lot of rock Pokemon. So it's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors type deal. Hold on, that's the phone. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. So, yeah, where was I? Oh, yes. So, yeah, there are a lot of different types, and almost all of them have a counter in Fire Red and Pokemon Yellow, except for Psychic, and that's why you're an a-hole if you use only Psychic, because Psychic is overpowered. But anywho, so, that's the type explained, and that's like the main gameplay element, where it's a rock, paper, scissors, you have to counter your opponent's Pokemon. Otherwise you're going to be at a severe disadvantage, and you're not going to be able to win. The game kind of supports you picking up a wide variety of different Pokemon and using them in battle. And it makes the game much more interesting. It really does. So, like, when you get into a battle against someone with a ton of water Pokemon, you definitely want to be using your electric Pokemon and your grass Pokemon. But if you flip the script and you have a bunch of the same Pokemon, you're going to get destroyed. You're eventually going to run into somebody who has your counter, who may have even multiple counters. So yeah, the game supports you doing a wide variety of things, which I enjoy. It really fits with the theme of go and explore, do your own thing, but you have to make sure to, while you're exploring and doing your thing, that you're doing it wise and you're picking up all these different types of Pokemon and catching them all, which is another secondary goal that you do in the game, which you don't get rewarded for, but you feel really damn good if you can do it, which is catching all of the Pokemon. Back then when it was possible. I don't know how people can catch them all nowadays. I think there's over like 900 of them. But again, don't quote me on that. But in the original Pokemon game, there was 151, which is still a great amount. That's a lot. And some of them are called legendaries, which are really rare and pain in the ass. But, if you're smart about it, you'll eventually catch them all. And if you cheat, you have to cheat to catch a couple of them, like Mew. And I'm not sure. I think Mewtwo you had to get a hack for. I don't think there's any way you can actually get Mewtwo in the actual game. Mewtwo is like the ultimate legendary. He's super powerful. I think he's psychic, funnily enough. So yeah, you come. Fire Red was a really great game. All of the original Pokemon games, in my opinion, were top. They're in the top 10 favorites. If I only had to pick one, though, I think I liked Yellow more than Red. Yellow just seemed a little bit more polished, and just having that little Pikachu following around, it gave me that slight bit more of love. I really love my Pokemon. I love my Pikachu. I think I named him. Did I name? I forgot when I named my Pikachu. It's been a while. My original Pikachu. Which is another cool thing I like in games, that you get to name your Pokemon just like your pets, because that's kind of what they are, except you make them beat the crap out of each other. But yeah, so when when you're going through this game and you're enjoying yourself, having a good time, you're fighting all these Pokemon, you're capturing them, and you're collecting them all or whatever your goal is. I mean, there's a lot of fun you can have in this game, is what I'm trying to get at. And I know I've kind of been rambling on for a little while, and You know, I've been going around in circles and circles and getting a little lost. But, you know, that's how I am. Shut up. It's my first freaking recorded video. Give me a break. But, yeah, I thought I'd try this out. I thought maybe if you guys like it and you like the video and subscribe, and hell, even throw a comment in the comment section if you wanted to. Let me know if you think. Let me know if you prefer me to do it like this. I prefer doing it like this. It's a little bit less work, and I could probably do these more often. I could definitely reveal or reduce. I could probably do a couple more reviews, a lot more commonly. You know, I can't spend a lot of my time doing this though, because, you know, I need to focus on my school, and I need to, you know, just stay focused on my school. School is a big deal right now in my life, and if I don't do my school, then oh boy, yeah, my parents, they kill me. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and listening and dealing with my horrible microphone and my horrid voice. But if you want me to do more of these, let me know. Love you. Bye.